The Book People. In Fahrenheit 451, Ray Bradbury writes about a secret community of book lovers he calls the Book People. Since books are illegal in this dystopian future that Bradbury has created, and all hidden books are burned by the fire department of the future, people who love books and their ideas commit their favorite books to memory. They are known as the Book People, and they have the important task of preserving all literature. The Book People are not just fiction. They do exist, and I saw them daily in the branch libraries I managed. When a new shipment of books arrives, these are the compulsive readers who go directly to the new book collection like drug addicts to their dealer. The Book People account for half of the monthly circulation in a public library. It is a statistical fact that the Book People are primarily comprised of middle-aged women of all ethnicities. These avid readers checked out an average of 3 to 4 books per week. They don't normally watch a lot of television, but they go home and generally read. They are very intelligent and know a great deal because they continue to stimulate their minds with new material and information through reading. We had one person who put a little pencil mark on the book page that represented her age, so she would know if she had read the book and how long it had been. She happily read the book again if it had been a few years since the last time she read it. This is not the type of behavior to encourage. However, the book lovers are the core group of patrons who keep your circulation stats up, and that is beneficial when trying to justify hiring another shelver. They are also very kind to librarians and always say hello and ask for book recommendations. They generally are the core group of branch book clubs. They are also the patrons who bring in food and baked goods on a regular basis for staff. Many of them are members of the Friends of the Library organizations and end up becoming great volunteers. They love libraries, and they understand the value of their library cards, because if they had to buy every book they read, the bill would be approximately $10,000 a year. My uncle Eugene Calvo is one of the Book People. An Army veteran who was stationed in Germany in the 1950s, he attended college on the GI Bill and graduated from Stanford University as a history major. After a career in real estate in Mountain View, he retired early and now lives a quiet life in Sunnyvale, California. At 85 years old, he walks the 2-mile distance to the Sunnyvale Public Library at least twice a week. Uncle Gene has been a patron of the Sunnyvale Library for the past 40 years. Since he loves nonfiction and history, I imagine he has read every nonfiction book in that library. We talk on the phone 4 or 5 times a year, and we have lengthy discussions about our family history and the politics of the day. He is one of the most intelligent and well-read people I have ever known. My uncle is the definition of a lifelong learner. Like the Burgess Meredith character in that famous Twilight Zone episode on the bank clerk who loves reading, all Uncle Gene wants to do is read. However, there are exceptions to the typical book lover who comes in the library. One person was a middle-aged woman who lived on a farm in Pueblo County and drove 30 minutes to our Barkman branch once a month. She always asked to borrow a book cart and unloaded 30 books she had checked out the previous month. I helped her unload the books from the trunk of her car, and she spent an hour at the library filling up the cart with another 30 books to check out. When I asked her why she checked out so many books, she explained that they really weren't for her. She went on to tell me that the books were for her 85-year-old father, who was still an active farmer and whom she lived with and helped him out on the farm. She said her father had always loved reading. When he was in high school, he was always walking and reading at the same time, and just like too many Americans do today, looking at their phones and not paying attention, he would run into things while reading. I guess you could call him a distracted reader. She said her father had always lived on their family farm in eastern Pueblo County, with the exception of the 3 years he spent in World War II in the Army Air Corps. Her father was a crew member on a B-17 with the 8th Air Force and was stationed in England. When he wasn't going on the incredibly dangerous daylight bombing runs, he read in his barracks. Reading about different places helped him deal with the stress of war. Reading may have saved his life. He was one of the lucky bomber crew members who made it back alive. I never got to meet him since he never came into the library himself. She told me he would read a book each day. Since he had minimized his work as a farmer and his wife had passed on, all he did was read on the farm. Everyone who walks into a public library has his or her own story to tell. People might go to the library to fill out a job application. They may be children who have not yet learned how to read and are coming to the library for story time. Or one could be a loyal daughter who is helping her father pursue lifelong learning by helping him read every book we had in our collection. 30 books a month. 360 a year. God bless that farmer who is a dedicated member of the book people, who just loves to read. My Uncle Gene will turn 88 in May and continues to read all the time. However, because of the coronavirus lockdown, he's unable to visit his favorite public library in Sunnyvale, California. Even though my Uncle Gene lives in Silicon Valley, he is not a technology person, so he doesn't have access to the e-resources that are still available. Like the Burgess Meredith character in that famous Twilight Zone episode, losing his access to the Sunnyvale Public Library is like breaking his only pair of glasses.